Today we're going to be taking a look at something that's a little bit unusual. It is the Princess Bride adventure book game. Now, it's by Ravensburger, which usually makes some pretty decent games. An adventure book game, for those that are not aware, is one where the actual book is the map itself. So, if you're interested in fairy tales, fantasies, and true love, and miracles, join me for the Princess Bride. So, it's really simple to set up. The first thing you have to do, of course, is choose which chapter you're going to play. We're taking a look at the first chapter. And it will give you some setup instructions in the rule book that will go along with this chapter. And I've done that. Right now you have Wesley, who's leaning back a little bit. And you set out some chores for him to do because, again, this is the first chapter called As You Wish. And they do have, everybody else here you're probably wondering about that you'll be able to play as. You shuffle up these special cards. We know they're the special cards because on the bottom they have the symbol for the special cards. So you shuffle them up, set them aside. You'll get them as gifts as you're playing. Then you have the plot deck. The plot deck is a series of numbered cards that tell you how the plot table is going to play. You give them a shuffle, set them off to the side. Finally, you have your story cards. The story cards are going to be how you're going to complete challenges, because you're going to have to discard those certain cards in order to complete the challenges. For instance, the first one is As You Wish. It needs one love card, but it also has to have 2 or fewer chores out on the board. And let's see, Wesley and Buttercup must be on the same space. Reward, you draw a card from the special deck. This token that goes right here is a miracle token. It lets you draw 3 cards from the story deck instantly. So it's a good help. So on the first, let's see, that is it for setup. You have these challenge completed markers, which you just set on here when you're done with a challenge so you don't do it again. And they have this. This is the big thing. You can play this whole book in one sitting if you want to go for a really long game. But what this does is it says, if you reach this interrupted state, for instance, interrupted just means something went wrong with the story and now the kid's going to interrupt you. Darn that Fred Savage. Okay, so this one says, if there's 3 or more chores, no, if there's no more chore markers here, then he interrupts and says, wait a minute, something ain't right. So we got to make it our goal to keep completing these chores as well as getting these objectives done, all on this small map here. And there are 6 chapters in this adventure book game. And there are other adventure book games out there. It's just this one here was the Princess Bride, and it's the one that the wife likes the most, so hey, that's the one I'm doing. Turn order is really, really simple. The first thing, you have to do 5 things, or these 5 steps in order. And that's all you really need is this little card here once you understand how to set this thing up. But you can move a single figure 0 to 2 spaces or 2 figures 1 space. So in other words, I can move her 1 and him 1, or I can move him 2 and just not let her move at all, or I don't have to move anybody any number of spaces. But the first thing I'm going to do on this turn is I'm going to take him. If we want to start doing these chores, I'm going to move him over there. How do we complete chores? Very simple. When you're on a spot with a chore, you can discard a card and it goes back in the list. Now, I don't have any cards yet, so that's an issue. But so we're going to draw 2, because that's the next step in part 3. Part 4 is a plot card. That means you draw one of these green cards, flip it over, and in this case it's an 11, which says put a chore marker on that space. And there's a lot more things you can do on your turn. For instance, after you move, during the storytelling phase, which is the step right after moving, you can discard any number of cards and move a character one space per card discarded. And you can only ever have 6 cards in your hand. You can complete challenges, play special cards, trade a single card with another player, or use a miracle to draw 3 cards from the special, or 1 card from the special deck. I've only used it so far to draw from here. Now we did the plot, and then we would discard down to 6, but I don't need to. Now what I drew was this red one and this black one, the love and the revenge. Now I can see I don't need the revenge cards anywhere in here. So I can use them for the discarding for the chores, or discarding for moving, and what have you. But I'm going to first discard one and complete this chore here. Set that back. I chose not to move. We did the chores. I'm not going to discard this card to move because I can use it here. And that's where we're at. No special, so we draw 2 from the story deck. And then we draw the plot card. That's 13. We take a chore. Yeah, these do pile up quick. They do pile up really quickly. You got to keep after them. And you can play this 1, 2, I think up to 4 players. And the kicker about this game is you're not playing as the character. No person is controlling specifically one character. As a group, you're controlling everything. So on my turn, if I move Buttercup or Wesley, somebody else can do it on their turn as well. And that's why it's okay to only have two characters out, even if you're playing with the full complement of players. So where was I? I'm going to move him 1. No, I'm going to move him 2. Yeah. Then I will discard 1 to pick this up. I'm going to be brave or stupid. I'm not sure. I'm going to discard another card to move here, and discard my last card to move that. I want to make sure that we do not lose this game because of that. So let's just fast forward just a bit. I'll draw 2 cards. And let's see. Then we do the plot card. That says 16. 16 in this instance, it says move him or move her to him, and then draw another plot card. And that was a 15, which means I put a chore on 15. So again, what is his thing? It must be 2 or fewer chores on the map. Wesley and Buttercup must be on the same space. So we can do this turn, okay? And by moving 1 here, 1 here, remember you can do, and I will discard a card to get rid of this, which means we have 2 on here, then discard a red to complete this. And once it's completed, boom, we drop it on here. The rewards, draw 1 card from the special deck. And this special one happens to be a wild card. It can be spent to replace any type of card that's needed, whatever the color is. And that's how this game plays. And you keep going until either the interrupt condition is met twice, because when you interrupt, you reset the whole board and you try again. If you ever lose twice on a single chapter, you're done. That's it, game over. Or, if you complete all the challenges, you win. Now this one has 3, there should be some that have up to 5 challenges. But I really think if you like adventure games, or you like simple storytelling games, things that are not highly stressful, this one should be right up your alley. And if you like Princess Bride, really, it's a no-brainer. I'm not the biggest Princess Bride fan. In fact, I don't like the movie at all. But the game's pretty fun, you know. And we have there's the sayings from this movie up all over the house because the wife really likes it, and especially with Andre and Nigel Montoya. What was the short guy's name? Vezic or something? And then Humperdinck, or was it this guy Humperdinck? I don't remember. Again, I'm not the target audience for this, and yet still, I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, Count Rugen is the yellow one, and Humperdinck is the purple. Excellent. So if you have any questions on this game, how it's played, or if you'd like to just play it, let me know. And until next time, have fun.